We are now going to hear from the former Vice Dean at Faculty of Humanities, Universitas Jambi, UNJA in Indonesia. Professor Hadianto has been involved in nationwide project related to adult and professional development education, teaching, and learning in higher education. He will share with us this afternoon a survey of changes in education expectations in Indonesia and the Southeast Asia region. Let's all welcome Associate Professor Hadianto Said. Welcome, Professor.
Okay, thank you, Ellie, for a very good introduction of me. And then, thank you very much, and thank you for all of participants is coming to this session. And then I think that I will start to present, Ellie. Okay. First, thank you for Oliver, Tian, and who had took me in the stage of the webinar, and also the honorable the ambassador of Mr. Patrick, ambassador of IRIS, that, who had mentioned my name at the early of at the last session of his speech, last time in the speech, and I am very flattered of mention my name from. Right, I start to share my screen to all of you. I'm coming with the issue of our research is about graduate 21st century skill in Indonesia. Right. Okay, in Indonesia, that have been conducted since 2017. Okay, this is the issue actually have faced by Indonesia, Malaysia. Then we have conducted research in 2007 across Malaysia and Indonesia. And currently, I had conducted a research in Indonesia, particularly in Jambi, coming to the issue of the mismatch between graduate skill and demand, and then low graduate global skill. Then the issue is coming for Indonesia, and then unsatisfied employers, unsatisfied service and slow production of the enterprises, and then slow industries, innovation, hybrid working environment, the pressure of hybrid working environment, and the pressure and multitasking job, and high speed of IT advancement. This is put Indonesia, education, higher education, particularly Indonesia, put under pressure how to develop, to improve the quality, the student, the graduate, to be able to compete in the global job market, to be able to participate in the global context of working in a global context of education. The curriculum of Indonesia since 2003 until 2006, 2011, and until today, 2020, actually emphasis on a 21st century skill, soft skill, that consists of soft skill, hard skill, and to enable the student to compete across the region, to compete across the countries, to perform global competitiveness. That actually the aim, the purpose is that actually the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Higher Education today is under Ministry of Education, and to provide the student with the high soft skill, hard skill, and to enable them to compete across the region. And today, the curriculum have been announced, have been established by Nadiem Makarim as Ministry of Education, and stated that we call that MBKM, or Independent Learning, or Campus of Freedom, freedom of campus, where the student can learn from industry, can learn from some industries, can learn from others university at the semester of 6 until semester 7. However, actually, the concept of the curriculum, how it is implemented, it is not really clear guideline until today. That some handicap and difficulties that we face in the Indonesia. We have this is actually the journey and the findings and the progress of our research since 2017. Before that, 7 years before that, before we have done the research in across Malaysia, comparing University of Indonesia and University of National Malaysia, and I try to bring this context of research to quite at the regional context of Indonesia, a local context. I mean the local context of Indonesia in Jambi, Universitas Jambi. That this research funded under the RISPRO LPDP Ministry of Finance, 2017 until 2018. We had analyzed content analysis, conducted a content analysis to the system recruitment of enterprises in Indonesia, PT Telkom, Toyota Corp, Unilever, Petrochina, Shell, Pertamina, NES, and until that a local enterprise. And we also interview some employers, what actually how the graduate contribute to speed their development, the improvement of their enterprises and their industries. And then we got this one actually, that this is four major that talking about, yeah, different terms, different terms that I mentioned, but actually it is the same thing. They need someone who has a specific knowledge, but also have attributed with the interpersonal skill, employability skill, professional skill, entrepreneurial skill. And then our research continue to see, to analyze in depth on from some literature reviews, from interviews of stakeholders, and then FGD between lecturers, and then finding some resources from UNESCO, from others other universities, that we found actually that we came up with this actually that need by the graduate at that context in 2018 until 2019. But today is because of pandemic, yeah, pandemic, and this also make much changing, much changes in 21st century, 21st century skill, soft skill. What we need, soft skill, communication, IT, numeracy, learning, problem solving, and teamwork. Critical thinking skill is include in this one, learning and problem solving skill. This is actually what the students, what the graduate need to work at the workplace. And then this is must be practiced, should be practiced in teaching and learning process. This soft skill should be practiced to gain the hard skill. So the soft skills should be practiced to gain, in order to student to develop their hard skill. What we call this discipline of specific knowledge, discipline of and specific skill. So when the students allowed to practice in the classroom, on online learning, in field work, they will gain the discipline specific knowledge and then discipline and specific skill. By having this good, by having that high soft skill, hard skill, then they will be able to compete with the other countries like Malaysia, maybe that participate maybe with Singapore's enterprises, and they will have the basic of entrepreneurship, employability, and lifelong learning. They will quickly adapt with the new environment of working place. And then we had also conduct a survey to 5 enterprises in Jambi International, including Petrochina, including Pertamina in Jambi, including Telkom, that measuring, try to do self evaluation of their performance at the enterprises. What we found that they perform this soft skill, hard skill, competitiveness, then overall soft skill, hard skill, competitiveness at medium level is quite far below our expectation. Actually, 4.2 and above. They should perform the 20% skill at 4.2 and above. This is for the future time that university. This is the big challenge for university, how to innovate, to innovate this learning system, how to innovate the strategy of learning, the method of learning to boost the student, the graduate 21st century skill, to enable them to compete with the job market. Okay, this is the model actually we have produced, how this one can be integrated into the curriculum of university, starting from input that while that learning design, uh, including the soft skill, hard skill, then competitiveness, and then SGL, student-centered learning should be applied, should be creatively and critically applied in learning. And then where we give the right, we give opportunities, we give wide opportunity for the students to practice the soft skill and hard skill through the learning scenario. This is the process implementing the instruction, and then the evaluation system that should also implement it, should measure the student 20% skill and expected outcome that they have good expected output, that they have a good soft skill and they have that high hard skill and outcome, and then they can apply a job, they can participate in online job market, in global job market, online, face to face, and I mean that in virtual office or something, and so on. And then we try to follow up the research to apply the model we have created through the classroom action research and experimental research. This is the scenario of sample that how to improve the students, yeah, through learning. They improve the student 21st century skill through learning. We group the student. We try group the student here. There are many group in the classroom, and then the student here presenting their paper individually. So each of presenters, they have the papers to present to the group, and then the group analyze, evaluate that one of the presenters, the weaknesses, the strengths, and then the suggestion. They discuss each other. This is what happened in actually. What happened we expected actually happen in the classroom by this scenario. They can decide the decision making, the communication, working with others, appreciation, and then using IT, numeracy, communication, and so. And also we have moderators and secretary, that a moderator who can manage the time, manage the manage the mobilities of question, comment, and doing leadership skill, and also in the classroom how to work together. So many skills actually, many skills that we can be practices to the learning. And then the presentation is led by a moderator and assisted by a secretary. Secretary will able to draw the conclusion, will able to draw how the process of the discussion happen in the classroom, and they will acquire the critical thinkings, and then analysis based on this classroom activities. And this is my classroom actually when I conducted the classroom action research and also experiment in other class. But yeah, it showed that actually the result of survey and observation show that some improvement on teaching strategy, improvement of student activities, improvement of student explorative activities. However, the improvement was not still under our expectation due to some problem we have. Maybe that later on we expect that AI, APARA can give some solution for this, for especially particularly dealing with the technology in learning. This is the limitation that we have. What we need and what today we don't have. Less of comfortable room. This is a room. It is not very comfortable for learning. and then conventional facilities we just has a whiteboard, and then LCD projector. Actually, it is not representative in today in AI era, and then no digital board and lack of whiteboard for group. We need to give to put the whiteboard or digital board every wall, every side of the classroom, in order to allow the student group discuss, group explore their ideas by using the whiteboard. This is that's some limitation. And then no desktop with printer and network. We need the desktop computer and printer to print something, to print picture, to be discussed, and some activities should be in the classroom. And then too big class size, and then icon is not working, no portable table. We need the student rotation, student rotation the classroom, maybe that from group to group, to share the ideas, to ask question. Yeah, and then lack of electric extension as well, and then broken internet connection. We need the huge resources. We need the multi resources from the internet, from the books, from the video, from yeah, multi resources. That we need the internet, good internet connection, but it is not happen. And then e-learning platform is not supported. What we use actually quite conventional e-learning, yeah, quite conventional, like basic of e-learning platform. We use that now, where we cannot do simulation, we cannot do group project in the e-learning. And we need that more modern, more sophisticated, more yeah integrated with AI, for AI technology for the futures. And then this is the next actually the next model of learning, seen that hybrid 21st century skill learning with STL strategies in classroom and out of the classroom, field, and also that online class. So in the three, in classroom, out of the classroom, and so and online learning, that we need to apply this strategy, blended learning, where that we can apply that all of the strategy, multi-strategy, multi-method, to explore the students' ability, to improve the student ability in learning. So to improve, in order to give, to allow them to get the 21st century skill, and to practice, and to get to acquire 21st century skill. This is the progress of our research now. We try to thinking about how to create an assessment, and later on, then we expected that this can also be interpreted, can be transformed into AI technology. How to we measure the student 21st century skill with this criteria, that without wasting time, without wasting energy, and then we can do by using that the latest technology. So we designed this assessment, that we can measure the student with output, with the score, with scoring output is one. The maximal score is 100. And then okay, this is what we expect actually AI application in developing students' 21st century skill. A learning template allowed various learning strategies. Like I said, that we need that the e-learning, online learning, that can allow the various learning strategies applied in this platform, and then allow SGL experiencing learning, project-based learning, while the student project is came out with a product output. And then integrating virtual lab, virtual library, simulation, virtual field observation. For instance, like pandemic crisis, we cannot go to the field, and when we can use that AI technology, how to bring the real observation into the AI platform, and then detect the student virtual. And now, like we use that Zoom, we don't know that the student in front of the camera, or they get around to sightseeing something, and we cannot detect whether the student in front of laptop, or just a picture. And we need how to detect, yeah, for the technology to detect they're sitting in front of the laptop or go to other places. And then calculating the student activeness in the classroom to see that how many the student active, giving suggestion, comment, and then participating in the group discussion and class activities. And then we need also measuring student activities based on indicators. Like I said, that how to measure the student by using that AI. So we need to measure the student, start the process of learning, as well as the competencies, as well as the 21st century skill. And then this is a collaborative project related to utilizing AI. I think that need to involve the expert in 21st century skill, AI, online application, and user and academician for the future need. I think that that's a presentation that I can share to the audience. Thank you for your attention, and at a panel session later on. Thank you. Back to you, Ellie.
Thank you very much, Professor Hadianto. You have just heard a session on changes in education expectations in the Southeast Asia region.